This week in news surrounding Israel, I'm going to be talking about the rapid rise of anti-Semitism in Canada and what we can all do about it. So stay tuned, friends, for all the details. Well, shalom, everyone. Welcome once again to this week's newscast. I'm Robert Gottslick, your host. And friends, we are seeing a spike in our country and around the world of anti-Semitism against the Jewish people. Prior to the war that Hamas started on October 7th, B'nai B'rith reported in their 2022 annual report that in Canada, and here are just the highlights, that in Canada in 2022, there were 2,769 recorded anti-Semitic incidents. That's almost 8 per day, including 2,056 incidents of online anti-Semitism and a 64% jump in incidents in Ontario. Friends, and if that's not bad enough, things, of course, have gotten a whole lot worse since October 7th. Reporter and columnist for the Toronto Sun, Joe Warmington, this is what he said, quote, he said that there are so many anti-Semitic incidents occurring that it's difficult to keep track. He further went on to say that Jewish people don't feel safe in Canada anymore. We have seen a Jewish restaurant intimidated and threatened with boycott, a Jewish business surrounded, homes vandalized, and a woman punched in the face, all because she is Jewish, friends. And then just yesterday, Warmington also reported that Canada is starting to look a lot like the 1930s in Germany. Well, friends, that's pretty sad. What in the world is going on? And as I reported a couple of weeks ago, friends, these hateful pro-Palestinian rallies are growing all over our country and around the world. And the media that's covering them, they only cover them in a way that paints Israel as a villain. I mean, that's disgusting to say the least. And as a result of that, and the silence from our political leaders, friends, the anti-Semitic incidents are spiking all over. Wake up, Canada. I can assure you that if there were Confederate flags being flown all over this country or in the United States in mass rallies and LGBT flags were being burnt and stomped on, well, the government, they would waste no time in putting an end to all of that, wouldn't they? But somehow when it comes to the Jewish people, well, I guess our sympathies just are quite a bit shallower, aren't they? In fact, I have not heard from our mayors, our city councilors, our premiers, or even our prime minister, Justin Trudeau. I haven't heard them condemn at all these hateful pro-Palestinian rallies. Instead, they are allowed to continue all over our streets throughout Canada, calling Israel apartheid and then calling for them to end the genocide. Are you serious? We're not going to say anything about that? Israel is apartheid? Did you know that Israel allows an anti-Zionist party in their parliament, in the Knesset? Those that do not even support Israel, they allow that party to exist. Did you know that Palestinians get the same rights as do Jewish people in Israel? The exact same rights, medical rights, the judicial rights, they're treated the same. Now you may say, oh, well, look at how all the checkpoints make things so miserable for the poor Palestinians. Yeah, well, they're there for a reason, because of all the attacks against the Jewish people. But I assure you, friends, Israel is anything but apartheid. And to end the genocide, they're calling for Israel to end the genocide. Last time I checked, the numbers of the Palestinian population was growing. No, these are lies, friends. And our leaders, they say nothing about it. And then they further allow them to take place while the pro-Palestinian supporters are promoting the destruction of Israel with their mantra, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Where does Israel fit in there? Well, it doesn't. And so if you are standing and supporting them, or if you're remaining silent when you know better, really, friends, then you are advocating, or at least condoning to advocating for the elimination of Israel, and woe unto you. Because you are going head on with the God of this universe, with the God of Israel that I read about in the Bible. And friends, you will be judged one day on how you are treating the Jewish people, the apple of God's eye. Now, I'm not going to repeat why Israel is entitled both politically and biblically to the land of Israel and how the Palestinians today have rewritten history. I'm not going to do that here today because you can just simply go back and watch the last few newscasts and educate yourself if you haven't already. But what I want to do today is I want to plead with Christians and supporters of Israel to get involved. Look, friends, Israel and the Jewish people, they need our support. And so here are a few simple ways that you can help. First off, and probably the most important, is to pray. Of course, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. You want to bring prosperity to your country. When you read Psalm 122, verse 6, it says to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May they prosper who love you. You want to bring prosperity to your country? Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Stand with the Jewish people. Maybe you'll organize a prayer group in your home or at your church, but prayer is key. Prayer is key. And then call a Jewish friend, a neighbor or a colleague, and tell them that you're standing with them. Maybe go to your local synagogue and speak with a rabbi and ask him, what can you do to help support them? Attend a pro-Israel rally, as my wife and I were able to do in Regina, and show them our love and support. And then speak out against the hateful Palestinian rallies that are sweeping our country all over. And speak to your mayor, your city councilors, MLAs, premiers, write the prime minister and tell them that it's time to ban these rallies that are calling for Israel's destruction and promoting lies about the Jewish state. And then finally, friends, if you so feel led to, you can support ministries like ours that are here to stand with Israel, stand with the Jewish people, and speak truth. If you feel led, you can visit our website at foicanada.org and you can click on the link to donate. Well, let's stand, friends, with the Jewish people. Let's stand with Israel. And those are some real ways that you can help. And so I would just encourage you to do something. But don't be like those in Nazi Germany that knew better yet said nothing. No, today is the day to wake up. Wake up, Canada. It's time to take a stand. In Psalm 83, and I'm not saying that this is the Psalm 83 war, but I am praying as Asaph did. Let me read a few verses from Psalm 83. The psalmist writes, "Do not keep silent, O God. Do not keep your peace, and do not be still, O God. For behold, your enemies make a tumult, and those who hate you have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people and consulted together against your sheltered ones. They have said, 'Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be remembered no more. For they have consulted together with one consent.'" And then look at verse 12. "Who said, 'Let us take for ourselves the pastures of God for a possession.'" And Asaph continues to write, he says, "O my God, make them like the whirling dust, like the chaff before the wind, as the fire burns the woods, and as the flame sets the mountains on fire. So pursue them with your tempest, and frighten them with your storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek your name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and dismayed forever. Yes, let them be put to shame and perish, that they may know that you, whose name alone is the Lord, are the most high over all the earth." And with that, friends, and until next time, thanks for joining us on another episode of In News Surrounding Israel.